I'm going to be doing a very exciting reading video that has to do all with my favorite woman, Donna Tartt, the author of The Secret History. I probably shouldn't say she's my favorite woman considering that's the only book of hers I read, but after this video, I'm going to try and read all her other ones. Since I loved The Secret History so much, I decided why not read more books like that. The two books I saw the most on if you enjoyed reading The Secret History or if you want to read more books like it were Bunny by Mona Awad and If We Were Villains by ML Rio. So I'm very excited to read these. I did get them from the library, so that's why it took me a little bit longer to actually sit down and start this, because I had to wait for both of them to be ready for me to check out. If We Were Villains is longer, so I'm gonna start by reading that one, and I figured I would do a midpoint check-in for both of them to see what the vibe is. I might not do a midpoint check-in for Bunny because I think it's under 300 pages, so I might just share my thoughts at the end of the book. But If We Were Villains is for sure getting a midpoint check-in. This is the book I'm actually most excited to read because I see it everywhere on booktok, booktube, on the Instagram pages, on my explore page. I'm like, god damn. I have high expectations for this book. I probably shouldn't because I always end up getting disappointed, but I'm praying that this doesn't happen for this one. If both of these books end up being a flop, I might as well just read all of Donna Tartt's other books, which is a little nerve-wracking because that woman knows how to write, because everything is over 500 pages for her, and I don't know if I can handle that. I'm gonna go in completely blind for both of these. When I see people do the recommendations on TikTok, I'm not reading the summaries. I'm just like, okay, cool cover. So I have actually no idea what makes them similar to The Secret History, but I'm hoping I have fun and enjoyed the books. So I might as well just get started. I'm also behind on my reading goal for this year. My bad. So let's see if these books can help me go back up. I'm hoping future Jocelyn enjoys the book. We will see. Okay, so I'm halfway through the book now. Wow. So far, I'm really enjoying seeing all of the different characters' dynamic work, especially because, again, I did not know anything going into this book. So I didn't know these are theater kids. They live and breathe the theater. And I was like, a little scared, but I'm really enjoying it. I really like all of the characters. The only character that I was a little bit iffy on, which is also because our narrator doesn't really interact with him a lot either, is Richard. Spoiler, Richard's dead. Good for me, bad for them so far in this book, because I was like, I don't like Richard, so glad he's gone. Bad for them because now they're in a pickle. Not my problem though. I do want to see how and why Oliver is the only one who ended up in jail. I assume it's because anytime one of these characters talks about him, it's always about how he's so kind. He doesn't got a mean bone in his body. He's always nice. I assume he just took one for the team. Maybe. I don't know. Because every time I try and think of an actual reason he was the only one to end up in jail, I just try and stop. Every time I guess an ending, I end up not liking the book as much because I'm like, okay, why was I able to predict it? I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be able to predict this twist. Currently 11:30, but I figured I needed to do this so that I can keep reading. Right now in the halfway mark, it's looking like it might be a 4.5, 5-star read. We'll see. Usually books in the end always piss me off, so it's never to the 5-star read. I don't know how many 5-star reads I've had this year so far. Not many, I'll tell you that for sure. Can't wait to keep reading. I'll see you with my thoughts once I finish the actual book, and then we'll be getting on to Bunny. So excited. So freaking excited. I'm flabbergasted, honestly. Finally finished If We Were Villains, and no one was gonna tell me this book was excellent. No one was gonna let me know I was missing out greatly by not reading this sooner. This book, excellent. Nobel Peace Prize winner right here. It is so good. Where I left off on the halfway mark, I feel like I was interested in the book, but not to how I am now. Once I got to 70% into the novel, damn did it start picking up. All of the pieces involved, I was like, okay. I was really intrigued by how everything was gonna go down. It was interesting to see who unraveled, especially after finding out who was Michael Myers in the damn group. I was like, god damn. This book, I rated it 5 stars on Storygraph. I was like, oh my god, is this book awesome. My favorite characters in the book, one, Oliver, because I was in the end, I'm like, oh my god, what a sweet king. Oliver, I kind of love. None of them wanted to tell him the truth because they knew what the outcome would be. If he did. And I'm just like, who's gonna do that for me? I'm not gonna do that for anyone, but who's gonna do it for me? Damn. I really liked Philippa's character. Don't know how to say her name. My apologies. But I enjoyed her character, especially because every single person underestimated her. Or she was almost like a ghost in this group. Like, she was just always like seeing everything play out, but no one really took her into consideration for anything. I also kind of liked James. But I don't know if I like James because Oliver liked James so much, and obviously this book is through his POV. Actually, the ending of this book, I'm like, so is there a sequel, ML Rio? Is there a sequel? Or is that just left up to my interpretation? So this book was excellent. Now I'm gonna have to move on to the next book, which is Bunny. I did see a few, like someone I followed already read that book, and they said, they rated it 5 stars, and they were like, this was the most nauseating book I've ever read. So now I'm a little scared. So maybe I shouldn't have read that review. That book is much shorter than this one. So it's like, am I gonna want to throw up? I don't want to do that. Like, I don't. Since this book was so close to The Secret History, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if Bunny is gonna follow that style as much as If We Were Villains. If We Were Villains actually made me so excited to continue reading. So you'll know. I won't know if there's going to be a midpoint check-in like there was for If We Were Villains. But actually, based on the length of this video, you'll know too. So starting this. Y'all, I am halfway through this damn book, and it's sinister, evil, nasty, weird, creepy, disgusting. Who wrote this? Literally, why did no one tell me how freakish this book is? Every time I get through a new chapter, I don't think it can get any worse or weirder, yet it somehow does. I'ma still read it though. I just need to know how this book ends. I wasn't even gonna do a midpoint check-in because the book is so short, but the thing is, it's already been 2 days, and it's taking me so long to read this damn book because I'm like, I know it. This book is so freaking weird. I need to finish this book immediately. Like, I'm gonna try and finish this book tomorrow so I can get this damn thing over with, because I dead ass cannot believe what I'm reading. That's my midpoint check-in. On Goodreads, it says I'm 57% through, and I can't wait to be 100% through. I'll let you know what I think when I'm finished. It's finished. I finished Bunny last night. The first half of the book, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I literally was like, what the absolute heck am I reading right now? So I really did not want to finish this damn book, but after she's finally out of the cult and out of the bunnies, I started to enjoy the book more. The first half of the book was not good for me. I think it's just because once she got into the cult, I was literally scared. I did not want to read this cynical ass book because I had no idea what was going on. I was like, I don't know if this book is for me. And then in the beginning as well, like all she would ever talk about was like her hatred for the bunnies and how weird they are. And I didn't really care until she finally like got into the cult, because then I was able to be aware of like, oh my god, why does she hate them so much? This is why. But then when she was finally in the cult, I was scared for my life and I didn't want to read anymore. I started to enjoy the book a lot more once we got to part 3, which is where she escapes the cult and she's like no longer in it, and she like develops that guy Max. I did enjoy that part of the book because I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know what's gonna happen with this Max dude. I want to know how they're gonna treat her after she's out of the cult. So I was really interested in that half. The part I enjoyed the most in the book was obviously the big reveal at the end where we find out Ava isn't effing real. Literally, I was like, I assumed the bunnies like turned her into that. No. It wasn't until she confronted the bunnies about killing Ava that I realized, oh my god, Ava was one of those creations. Like, I already knew based on how they were treating her. Yeah, I knew Sam was gonna be the most powerful one. Like, she was actually gonna do the damn thing. I did not expect Ava to be fake. So I was like, I should have known though. Like, that hoe didn't have a job, didn't go to school, like what? So that means I finished both of these goddamn books. Dark Academia, you have 1 today. Dark Academia, 1, Jocelyn 0, because I was not expecting to really like these books. Oh, I gave Bunny a 4 just because I thought it was like a solid book. Yeah, I thought the beginning half was like, but that's because I was scared. Mona was doing a good job at writing this. I just know that this type of genre is not my personal cup of tea. If We Were Villains is my preferred pick out of the 2. Bunny, I would recommend if you have a strong stomach, if you're okay with cynical, scary, weird, freakish things in your books. If you're okay with that, yeah, read it. It's not a bad book. But yeah, I feel like this has been a successful reading vlog. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, I found a 5-star read. I enjoyed Bunny, I guess. I'm trying to read Happy Places next, so we'll see if I can get that from the library soon. We'll see what I read next, actually, because I don't even know.